a new approach to an old problem: racism. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Mahatma Gandhi. There is a lot of hatred in this world. On the morning of September 11, 2001, the world witnessed the terrible repercussions of such hatred. Now I'm reading this blog titled "I Hate Racists" on iatheist.org that is filled with venom and hatred towards racism and bigotry. By preaching sheer hatred like this, you are only adding fuel to the fires that burn in a world already filled with hatred and violence. Most of us are waiting for the world to come together in peace. We may never reach that, and it may seem like a far-fetched dream, but together we must find the means. We must create a safe and secure environment for our children and our children's children. Racism is a difficult subject to tackle, and in order to form a culture free of such racism, we must begin with education. If you don't want your children to grow up in a world of hatred, teach them tolerance toward race, religion, color, and sexual orientation. We must expose racism and bigotry for what they are. It is important to understand what racism is. Wikipedia describes racism as historically, it has been defined as the belief that race is the primary determinant of human capacities, that a certain race is inherently superior or inferior to others, and or that individuals should be treated differently according to their racial designation. Sometimes racism means beliefs, practices, and institutions that discriminate against people based on their perceived or ascribed race. Racism is based on ignorance, stereotyping, and learned hatred. Many people accept that we live in a diverse society today and we appreciate different cultures. However, there are still large segments of society that won't accept human capacities are not determined by race. There is no doubt in my mind that we need to find a healthy solution to end racism. It is important to understand the nature of racism and intolerance. Together we can end prejudice. Our fight against racism cannot be won while there are attitudes like the one displayed on iatheist.org against racists. Such behavior is unacceptable. Racism is not an issue that will be easily resolved, and the sooner that we begin to work together, the sooner we'll come to a solution. There is a history of racism that cannot be undone, but we can look to the future and make positive changes in how society views those of different ethnic backgrounds. Give your children the opportunity to develop close friendships with people of different races. Teach your children to accept people as individuals. We must teach them that there is no room for discrimination. Remember that our children are influenced by the world around them. Examine your own attitudes and opinions about those of a different race. Before stereotyping people, stop and think what your stereotyping is doing to our world today. I don't hate all the people in the world. I only feel ill towards those who are blind and cannot accept people for who they are. The ability to accept that we are equal regardless of origins is necessary in order to live in a diverse society. To quote the words of John Lennon, I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one.